everybody to our first show on the View from the End Zone here on Spotlight Media and the YSN Network. We're super excited today to have our first guest with us from the Fairless Falcons. We have AJ Sarbaugh, who last Friday night, his Fairless Falcons came out on fire. I don't know if he shook the pop bottle or what he did, but they came out and they put up 50 points against a very good, traditionally very good team in Sandy Valley. Usually a tight game for Fairless in Sandy Valley on the opening game of the season. But last Friday night, Fairless came up with 50 points. Coach Sarbaugh, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Troy. Excited to be here.
So just tell us a little bit about the excitement of that game. We're going to go details, play-by-play with it, but tell us a little bit about that night.
Yeah, first of all, we just really love opening up on a Thursday night. We get a great crowd, a lot of media there, gets to spotlight our kids. It's a Stark County game with us in Sandy Valley. Used to be an old Pac-7 game. Like you said, traditionally it's come down to the wire. This year it's one of those anomalies where the snowball just kind of started, but I don't think you could ask for a greater atmosphere to kick the season off on a Thursday night, and the weather was as good as I've ever seen it for week one.
Yeah, fantastic. I know what you mean. It was, just a great game all around. And it actually, as it started out, it looked like it was going to be a tight game. But I noticed with your Fairless Falcons, they came out firing on all cylinders offensively, defensively, and special teams. You could tell there was a lot of work you put into special teams coming into week one, and that showed. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in special teams. It's 1/3 of the game. I got to give credit to my assistants. They do a really good job with it. My dad, this is his 40th year coaching. He's our special teams coordinator. So he comes up with a lot of the kick returns and punt returns, punt blocks, field goal blocks. But as a staff, we really work collectively. We spend a lot of time on special teams starting in June, and we all have our own positions on each special team. So it's not just one guy coaching them. And I think our kids know that you can win or lose a ball game because of those and their impact plays. And it showed up on Thursday night.
You're absolutely right. They were impact plays. We're going to go through about 15 of the clips of this game, some highlights to take a look at. Me being a defensive guy, I noticed that first series, Sandy Valley was driving the ball, but quickly, you're going to see in this clip here that you guys set the tone with a blitz by Colin Shackle. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think our kids came out excited to play and a little too amped up week one. First time we've been in the 3-4. We kind of hit it in our scrimmages. We've been playing the 4-2, which we've traditionally done. So we had a few guys out of place a little bit, a few guys starting for the first time, and everyone just needed to get their feet under them a little bit. But like you said, great play by Colin Shackle. His first start at linebacker as a junior for us.
Wow, that was impressive. The next thing that, of course, Sandy Valley goes down and scores, and they made the big mistake of kicking the ball off to you in your special teams, and Cameron Carl takes it back. Tell us about this play as we watch it.
Yeah, this is our deep return, and I think the first 5 guys in the front row do an excellent job. If you see down on the 25-yard line there, our center, Killian Mayfield, gets a great block, and then our other guys get great blocks. There's no one for Aiden Lancer, our starting left guard. He's running with Cam Carl. Obviously, Cam Carl has a ton of ability, but those other 10 guys did their job, and he's not even touched. So very exciting play to get us back in it and to get the momentum.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right off the bat, taking the momentum back with that 96-yard kickoff return. Of course, the extra point, you ended up not getting the extra point, but you guys weren't done scoring for the night. Next, coming up on defense, again, showing up aggressively in that first half, not letting Sandy Valley. Take a look at this tackle here. 3 guys on the tackle. Tell us about that, Coach.
Yeah, you've got Peter Snavely, Hunter Dean. Those 2 guys started last year. Peter's now a junior. Hunter's a senior. So I think that's the thing that we talked about, Troy, back in August. We had a lot of guys that have played, and they have another year of the weight room under their belt. So now it's, can you play fast without thinking, and you have confidence on the field. And I think you saw that from those 2 guys on that play there.
Oh, for sure. That looked like a lot of fun. I mean, that's, like I said, I'm a defensive guy. I was enjoying watching that. Then we come back, and you guys start establishing the running game. and Jack Kirby racks up his 25-yard run, taking you down near the goal line. Let's take a look at that clip. Oh, we're off a clip. This is defensive. Let's go back. Can we go back to that clip?
There we go.
Yep.
Oh, here's the run. Here's the run.
So, this is our counter play. Dylan Stevens on the kick out from our guard gets a pancake. Hunter Dean does a really good job pulling up through. And once again, Jack Kirby's not touched for about 15, 20 yards.
Absolutely. I mean, he drove it down there. Now, on that drive there, Coach, you didn't get in the end zone, right?
Correct. We didn't.
Yeah, so you turned the ball over down there, on downs. And right away, defensively, you're seeing that Keaton Butcher, if I said his name correctly. Did I say that correctly?
Keaton Buechler.
So Keaton comes up with a nice stick from outside linebacker. Let's see that clip. Knocking the ball loose here.
Yeah, Keaton really played well as the game. He's another guy that started for the first time for us. And as the game went on, he just got better and better.
Absolutely. Now the quarterback gets into play here a little bit. So we're looking at Mickey Ritterback here with this 14-yard run with 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Let's take a look at that play.
Yeah, Mikey's starting, and this is kind of a typical week one play, actually. I got information from the box. We looked at the iPad. We thought we had something. We call it, and we had a guy run the wrong route. So Mikey, with his experience, sees that it's not going to be open or our guy isn't where he thinks it's going to be, and the middle clears out, and he takes off, and heck of a play by him.
He did. That was a nice play. Bounced into the end zone, took a couple hits after he crossed the goal line. Next, we're going to take a look at this defense again, swarm tackling on this slip screen. This corner comes up really strong.
Yeah, Antrell Hunter is another guy. He's a junior. He started last year as a sophomore, but he had a really good summer when we went down to Indian Valley, which I think everybody knows who Indian Valley is now, if you didn't. But he tackled their quarterback and running back in open space, which never happens. But he's a very good tackler, very good cover guy, and had a really good game for us.
Yeah, he did. He did a nice job. Now, back to special teams again. All right. And this muffed punt and recovery. Nice punt. Got lots of airtime.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to watch this come in with a fair catch.
Yeah, like you said, Peter Snavely punted last year. He's punting this year as a junior. We've got 4 or 5 guys that sprint down, and they obviously muff it, like you said, which gives us great field position. We're in 4-down territory right now, and we take advantage of it.
Again, another special teams play. And then here comes Kirby. We're going to see him with his 10-yard run with just under a minute to go.
Yeah, we're in 3-by-1, and we motion Peter Snavely, our big tight end. He does a great job getting the edge, working a second level. Grady Vaughn, his first start at right tackle senior, gets a great hook. And Jack Kirby finds the lane, gets in the alley, and easy 6 for him.
Let's go back. I love it when we talk about offensive linemen and big tight ends getting blocks. Let's go back and take a look at that seal block there again. Can we go back to that clip?
Yeah, so we motion Peter Snavely, and then you can see the right tackle Grady Vaughn, and Peter gets a second level. It's a really good job by those 2 guys.
It definitely created the lane for him there. All right. So we're going into halftime now. And I would imagine, the discussion by Sandy Valley was let's not kick it deep after what we had last time. And they don't kick it deep. And your special team blocking on kickoff return does it again.
Yeah, honestly, at halftime, we told the guys expect squib, expect pooch, possibly even an onside kick. But they squib it. And this is something we work on starting early July with camp days. Zach Gilkerson's a senior, 3-year starter at DB, 2-year starter at receiver. And we get some good blocks, and Zach takes it the distance.
He did. He got a little jump over the kicker there at the end too, right?
Yes, he did.
All right, so then we're going to have Cam Carl's show back up. Does he go by Cam or Cameron?
Cam.
All right, with this jet sweep.
Yeah, this run is awesome, but we go to the wide side of the field, Troy, and he's still not touched till the 4-yard line, and the ball's on the 20. I mean, you could see Zach Gilkerson on the bottom of your screen at wide out with a great block, and then you see Hunter Dean hooking the edge, and Jack Kirby goes up to safety. So obviously it's a great run by Cam, but those guys on the perimeter do an excellent job with their blocks and staying on and playing through the whistle.
Absolutely. They were glued on those perimeter blocks. They created a nice lane for him. And then we're going to get CJ Pomnio here. Recovers this loose ball. Again, the kicking special teams game comes into play.
Yeah, CJ's another guy. He started last year as a freshman. Now he's a sophomore. His brothers have all played at Fairless. His dad played, so big Fairless name, but he's a kid that plays with a motor, never takes plays off, and heck of a job by him sprinting and falling on that football.
Absolutely. Plenty of hustle there. Plenty of hunger still by the Falcons, and he gets that loose ball, and those kind of things just lead to momentum, and Kirby's back again with a 35-yard run this time. Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah, so now we're going to motion Peter Snavely. We fake the jet to John Hill, and we run counter back. And once again, we get a really good kick-out block, really good pull, and there's no one there for Jack Kirby.
Absolutely. He was getting touched on the goal line. That's when you wanted to run to get touched. All right, so then we're getting close to the end here, Coach. We're getting to now we got Ritter back taking this takes a snap on the point after the 2-point conversion. He makes something out of this.
Yeah, and once again, you coach Troy, you've been around a long time. We do PAT field goal Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and every one of those days we do 2 fires, whether it's a good snap or a bad snap. We're practicing fire. And that's something we've practiced. Mikey's a 2-year holder, 2-year starter, and you can see right there he doesn't even think. He just takes off, and I think that's when kids are at their best, when they don't think and they just play fast.
Absolutely. He knew where to go. He knew where to go with the ball. So we're up 43-7 now. And now we're going to go to our last clip, which is ironic. You're going for your 50 points, and it's a 50-yard run on a toss to Troy McVicker. An excellent first name for this guy, too.
Yeah, and this is we've got a lot of young linemen in. We've got our subs in. So this was great to see. One, it's a great run. He cuts it all the way back. You like to see him, taking on the defender instead of just getting tackled. You try to deliver a blow on the tackler. But those young guys got great blocks for him as well. So that was a really cool play to see.
Yeah, your kids have to be excited coming out of that game. Tell us, Coach, how was practice today?
Practice was excellent. I don't think you ever know how your kids are going to respond. Just because, Friday we had school, but we give them Friday off after Thursday, and then we bring them in Saturday because we try to get right back into our normal routine with film and lift and JV. So, they were being told Friday at school how good they are and in the weekend and community. But honestly, today was one of our sharpest practices. The energy was really high. So I was really happy with their effort and focus today.
Fantastic, Coach. So we're getting to the end here of our interview, but you're heading into your 5-week stretch of away games.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for that?
We just told the kids, we've got to be road warriors. We're in the eye of the storm. It is what it is. But this week we get to play at Wayne Dale. We get to play on grass. And football is meant to be played on grass. And it's the only grass game we have this year. So each week we're going to try to find something as an advantage. It's us against them. We told them the only people that matter are the ones in the locker room. But we've got to bring juice and energy on the road. You're not going to have it provided for you. And this is a great challenge. And we're looking forward to taking on that challenge each week. And it starts this week with going to Wayne Dale.
Super excited, Coach. That grass game, I don't know if you had any last year, but for a lot of guys, I played as a head coach. I had one game in grass, and our players hadn't played on grass their entire lives. And in terms of a game, and that smell in the locker room from the grass at halftime is something you can't bottle. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, the grass is special. We haven't had a grass game since 2023 at Tusky Valley, and now they're turf. So this is the only grass game we have this year. I told the kids this might be the last grass game you play. And just like you said, the smell of the fresh cut grass stains on the jersey and pants, football's meant to be played on grass. So I think our kids are looking forward to it, and we'll be excited.
Fantastic, Coach. Hey, again, I appreciate you being on here tonight on The View from the End Zone. Wish you the best of luck as you journey into these next 9 regular season games. You guys have definitely got it started the right way, and it's super exciting. The Fairless Falcons. Did you guys play a little Ring of Fire after that game Friday night?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Coach. All right, again, I appreciate it. I know you got a busy week coming up. I'll let you get back to work. Appreciate you being out here, Coach. Good luck, and thank you for being with us here on YSN Live and the View from the End Zone.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Troy. This is awesome. You're doing this, and looking forward to see where it goes and what you do this year. So thank you for what you're doing for Stark County and high school sports.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you again for joining us tonight on the first episode of The View from the End Zone on Spotlight Media and the YSN Network.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.
Welcome to Kappas Coach's Corner. Today we have Coach Kappas in week 1 with us, gearing up for New Philadelphia. We're going to hear about how the summer went. We're going to hear about the preparation for New Philly and where the Louisville Leopards are at right now. Coach, how did the summer practices and the preseason go?
Well, it's been our best summer yet. Going into year 3 here, we had a lot of team building, a lot of guys really picking up and taking the schematics to the next level of really understanding everything. It just makes everything so much easier when going into year 3 and keeping the same systems. But we had a really good summer. We had a lot of kids make a lot of gains in the weight room. Coach Kwasnicka had a great plan for our whole off season, and we saw a ton of kids make a lot of gains in lifting, speed, weight. It's probably, it couldn't have gone maybe any better. So it was, I think we're ready for a season, and we can be as good as we can be because of the preparation we put in the summer.
So in that preparation of the summer, I know you talked about, weight room and practice, but I know you guys also do some things with team building.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
We did, June is our team building month. Okay. So we always take Thursday, which is our last day of the week. We get a lift in, maybe some film work or something like that. And then we try to do something fun with the kids where they end their week on a high note, hanging out with their teammates, with their buddies. So we did our 2nd annual fishing tournament this year at one of the local ponds, and the kids had a great time with that. We give them about an hour time limit, and then put them in teams, and each kind of fish is worth a certain amount of points. So they take that very seriously. There might have been some kids going there the night before putting fish on stringers. I'm not sure, because there were some big bass caught on that one. But the kids have a great time with stuff like that. We do a cornhole tournament. We do a kickball tournament. So just trying to get them out of football, hanging out with each other, and just trying to grow as a team, feeding them, stuff like that.
Okay, great. So now in terms of, we got into 2-a-days, and, during 2-a-days, we had 2 scrimmages. So tell us about scrimmage 1.
Scrimmage 1, we played at Jackson. And I thought we came out and played pretty well for the first scrimmage. The first scrimmage, you want to be very simple, make sure guys can get evaluated playing our base defenses, running our base offenses. And there were some really good mistakes made. But I thought we tackled really well in the first scrimmage, and we were able to run the football pretty effectively in the first scrimmage. So, you don't really keep scoring those, but I was happy with the way our guys performed against Jackson, who's coming off a league title, and they're going to be a little bit younger this year than they were a year ago. But that was a good challenge for us with Jackson. And then the second scrimmage against Boardman, they're a little bit different in terms of offensively. They run a wing tee, and they're getting really good at that. That was kind of a new system for them last year, but we struggled at times defensively, defending some of that. And when you only take 2 days to prepare for the wing tee and only have one option to run on defense, it's not it's not the most fun thing when you can't really make too many adjustments. But we played a true half of football. We were able to score a couple times. Scored late in the first half on a 2-minute drill, and we got helped out by a couple penalties. But we did some good things both offensively, defensively. And just again not having the full time to prepare for an offense like that. You take the positives that you can out of that. And some individual guys played really, really well, tackled pretty well. We came out of it healthy. We came out of both scrimmages healthy. That's a testament to our off-season training and conditioning. Going into week one, we are 100% full strength with everybody ready to go.
That's what you want to be. So now going into week one, we're going to travel down to New Philadelphia. What can we expect from New Philly?
Well, I mean, they're the first 2 years, you see they do what they do. They are extremely well coached. They are tough kids. They play fast because they know what they're doing. And they have a veteran group. They got a lot of their skill guys returning from a year ago. And just like anybody, they lost some really good seniors that, we're anticipating them having some young guys that are going to step up. But Coach Johnson down there does a great job getting those guys coached up and, turning over senior classes every year and having guys step up. So, this is going to be a hard game to win. And, that's what we're telling our guys every single day. And we gotta play our best football game to win the game.
All right. So in addition, we'll get back to, the X's and O's of football and the opponent and that kind of thing. Let's talk a little bit about the program too. Okay. Let's talk about where we're at with Little Leopards.
Yeah. Little Leopards is going strong. Actually stopped out at a couple practices last night and last week. Just, trying to get to be seen out there, and those guys, showing that we really care about how that development's going. We did a combine. Our staff ran a 3-day combine at the beginning before the draft for Little Leopards. So it was a really good deal. All the Little Leopards coaches being out there, being able to evaluate all the players before the draft and just getting to know. I've been around enough for going into year 3 here that I know some of these kids coming up that are younger kids that are a little bit older than my oldest, and having some of these kids in the elementary school and whatnot. So it's a lot of fun watching those guys run around and, being right out here in the green space. We got 2 teams practicing out there. I mean, that's got to be one of the coolest things for small town America.
Yeah, small town America.
Drive through the middle of town and there's football practice going on. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty fantastic to see. I enjoy that every time I go by. All right, so we're talking a Little Leopards. I think the numbers are good. Yeah,
numbers are good. Pretty much on par with what we had last year, which was, a really good year for numbers. So numbers are still increasing, staying steady, and so the future is looking bright for the future of Louisville football.
All right, so we're going to go one step at a time. From Little Leopards, we're going to go to 8th grade football. How's that team doing? They're
doing well. They had their first scrimmage last week against Lake, and it was a defensive shootout. Neither team really scored at all, but good team to scrimmage, first of all, because Lake's always a physical football team that likes to run the football. So Coach Atkins has done a great job. He's very organized. He's got a great coaching staff with him that they're really building the whole player, right? And those kids are having fun. They're learning how to watch film. They're learning how to lift weights. And then they're getting a good introduction to what the systems are going to be like once those kids get to 9th grade and above, with similar stuff to what we're doing on the varsity team. So, that's going really strong. Our numbers are strong there, just like last year. So anticipating those guys having another good season.
One of the things that was really interesting last year with the 8th grade football team being the first year for it was if you attended one of the home games for the 8th grade, it really had the middle school feel like a high school football game for the middle school.
Yeah.
It was kind of exciting.
It was cool. And they, getting to play at the stadium draws a good crowd too. And, our players are out there on Wednesdays when they're there and they're caring about it. So it was cool. Under the lights pretty much every week. And then having the success that they did, that compounded upon itself as that season went on. And I think that last game when they had the chance to go undefeated, there was quite a few people there.
Exciting. All right, freshman football, they starting up this week?
Yep, starting up this week. Thursday against New Philly at home, 5:00. The game got moved up a little bit because there's a soccer game after it, so it'll be 5:00 on Thursday. Same thing. Anticipating a great game there. Our freshman staff's doing a great job. We've changed some things where the freshmen are with the varsity a lot, learning individual techniques and fundamentals, and then they're able to kind of go on the other side of the field and work their offense and defense. But getting those guys some introduction to what it's like, what the speed's like, how the older guys run the drills and everything has been very beneficial because we started that last year, and I really feel like this year's sophomore class has developed a ton from their freshman year, and I think going through that type of practice every day with us has helped.
Having experience with upperclassmen, those drills,
and getting to know the coaches too. Right? I work with all the freshman freshman linebackers and freshman tight ends that I get to have those guys coaching them up every single day.
All right, so I know you had your Louisville Leopard Touchdown Club kickoff dinner last Saturday night. Tell us a little bit about the Touchdown Club, their support for your program.
Yeah, the Touchdown Club has done a phenomenal job just giving us everything that we need. And, the biggest thing is keeping our players hydrated, keeping them fed throughout 2-a-days. So they were providing, like Stacy Kelly, one of the senior moms, she organized all the meals for a snack between 2-a-days and a meal for after the second practice. These kids are, they don't know how good they have it. But stuff like that, they're buying us gear, equipment, things that we need for the boys to have a first class experience. Bob Burek, our new president, is doing a great job of just really, showing up. He's always over there making sure we have what we need. And then, the kickoff event was phenomenal. That was, we had a great turnout for that. Everyone had a great time. We raffled off a lot of things, auctioned off a couple things.
Yeah, one of the new helmets went for a good amount of money, right?
Yeah, a couple $100.
Somebody gets to call play. I heard
someone gets to call play. So that was good. It was,
if only I think it went $325 for calling a play.
I think it would have went for. So that's
just think if they start paying you $325 for each play you call.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
That wouldn't be a bad deal.
No,
right?
not at all. Not at all.
Fantastic. All right, so that's good. Can people still join the Touchdown Club?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're always looking for, it's never too late to join. They're yearly memberships. It's $25 for a single membership, $50 for a family membership. And, we're always looking for that little bit of money goes a long way to feed the kids.
Just to put that in perspective, I know during 2-a-days, there's a budget to feed kids. Pretty much a parent can drop their kid off for football, and you're going to train them for football and feed them
2 times.
Yeah, 2 times for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you think about what a football player eats, they're not eating $5 meals.
And our guys were full too. They wasn't like they get a little banana or something like that. We were getting some full meals. So that goes a long way to help the kids. And then, you get to be a part of the club meetings every single week. There's going to be some perks. We're actually going to put some of our we got some new jerseys this year. Some of our old jerseys are going to be put up for sale through the Touchdown Club. That members will have first dibs on picking jersey numbers if they want to purchase those jerseys. So that'll be coming up soon. So there's a lot of benefits to being a part of the club, but the biggest thing is just the how that money goes directly to the players.
Right, exactly. It fuels the players in a lot of different ways. And, I know Louisville is a very strong community about football, and everybody wants to be a supporter. And there's a way that you can make an influence on Friday night by showing the kids that you're going to join the club and also then contributing to the things that they need. So that's leopardtdclub.com, I think is the website for that,
LeopardTVClub.com.
that they can join that. All right, so now let's talk about your team. And let's talk about maybe some of the players, some of the things we can look forward to as fans. Who's shining? Who has really maybe leveled up from where they were last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think every team's success is going to start on the lines, right? So the offensive line, our goal is always to run the football and stop the run on defense. Offensive line, we got our two big boys back who started every game last year, Trevor Burek and Aiden Norris, and then we have 4 or 5 other guys that are gonna be, one Roy Newell's a returning starter, and then we got a handful of other guys. Xander McCroby has some starting experience. Max Morari's going to be a junior that's a really promising player. Joe Banks is going to be a sophomore. Sean Klein's going to be a senior. So we got some good depth there that we're going to rotate those guys a lot, especially on the defensive line. We feel really strong about our offensive line and being able to run the football. And then you got to have some good backs and quarterbacks, right? So quarterback Gabe Stouffer, his strength is running the ball, but he's done a great job throwing the ball throughout the preseason. So expect him to be able to run the football a lot. And then Owen DiMarzio returning at tailback, who was our leading rusher and our leading receiver last year. And then Owen Wilson, sophomore running back, is playing, getting to get some significant carries as well in there. And then we got a good group of tight ends between Colton Doherty and Jake Baker, who are doing a great job blocking, and they're very capable receivers too, so they can stress you out there. And we have some veteran senior receivers in Quinn Burek, Colton Norris, Luke Seaman, Anderson Candle, Gabe Regenball, and the young guy Drake Wilson, who's doing a really good job. So offensively, we feel really strong about being able to, have the talent across the fields, make people defend the whole width of the field, and being able to run the football.
As you're going through those guys, it sounds very diversified in terms of seniors, juniors, sophomores, but also, a lot of those kids that you were naming, even if they were juniors or sophomores, still had experience.
Yeah, we've played a lot of young kids over the last 2 years. That's really going to pay off this year.
All right, so we'll flip to the other side of the field.
Yep.
Talk a little defense.
Yeah, so defense, again, it starts up front. Senior Jake Beard came out for football this year as a senior. He's going to be a key piece of our defensive line at end. Big body, strong, tough kid. So we're very fortunate to get him out. And then, again, that same group of offensive linemen are kind of rotating through there in those interior spots with the two big boys, Burek and Norris. But, Sean Klein's done a great job this year on the defensive line, kind of moving around all over the place. Xander McCroby's done a great job on the defensive line. Joe Banks doing a great job. And then there's some young guys that'll get some opportunities. JP Lowry's done a great job. We got a senior, Massimo Roberts is doing a great job, providing some really good depth on the D line. So we're excited about that. Ethan Kelly's a senior that's really going to get his opportunity this year as a defensive end. He's doing a great job. And then linebacker, in going into year 3 here, these are the fastest linebackers that we've had. I mean, they can really run sideline to sideline. Colton Doherty and Anderson Candle. So they're doing a really good job at linebacker. And then we have a very veteran defensive backfield with Colton Norris, senior Quinn Burek, senior Luke Seaman, senior Gabe Stouffer as our 4 guys in the secondary there. That's, have a wealth of experience playing on both sides of the ball. And then we have some young guys too, Drake Wilson, Xavier Burdella, that are really going to step up and fill some roles there. And then, I can't omit Owen Wilson as a defensive player. I mean, he's just, you can do a lot with him as like kind of our field outside linebacker. He can blitz, he can cover, and he's a special player. And then Isaiah Bragg is another guy that didn't get to play last year. But he's done a great job as our scout team player of the year last year, and is really feeling taking some great reps on defense. And he's going to be a good one.
So we're right up against one last practice, right?
Yep.
And you guys are practicing
2 more.
2 more?
Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, I'm a day ahead.
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm a day ahead. All right, so you got Wednesday night.
Yep.
And then Thursday morning?
Yep.
bright and early.
Bright and early.
Those guys like those morning practices?
They do. We go bright really early before school on Thursdays. Try to knock out practice in about an hour, and it is full game speed, game tempo. A couple offensive plays, simulating punt or punt return, kickoff return, field goal, extra point. So, really getting a game feel of running guys on and off. Make sure we're getting the right subs in, getting our operations of getting the plays in, getting the defenses in, stuff like that. And then practicing some scenarios. We do 2-minute drill. We'll do a 4-minute drill. We'll do end of game stuff, Hail Mary, all that stuff. So we squeeze all that stuff into 1 hour of practice, and the kids love it. They love getting that out of the way, and I love it too. That Thursday morning by 7:15 a.m. we're done, and it's there's a little bit of weight off your shoulders that you really you feel like the kids get the game plan, or you can still have a little bit of time to maybe take some stuff off the call sheet and not add anything, but it makes Thursday at school, I think, a little bit more enjoyable for the kids because they know they get to go home or go to the freshman game. They get a night off. Sometimes some of the guys get together on Thursday night and different groups, O-line or whatever. But I think the kids really liked it. We started doing it last year, and it gives them an extra 10 hours or so of recovery as well till Friday night. So
if you're driving by the stadium at 5:30 in the morning, you see the lights on Thursday morning, you know what's going on.
Yep.
Usually it's the YMCA workout people driving by.
Yeah.
Or somebody else going to work. But
some of the parents like it too, because it makes them get up early and drop the kids off, and they're out there exercising, walking around the block. So,
all right. So, we talked about everything that's going on with the team in terms of players, who we're looking at, where we're at with the program. Also noticed that you got the hat on that says the Ville. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're kind of embracing maybe a little bit of rebranding a little bit with our team. But it's cool for the kid. The kids like this stuff. We're going to switch up the helmets and stuff like that. And, we got a couple new sets of jerseys and whatnot to replace some old ones. So, the kids like that stuff. It might have got a couple more kids out for football. Not that that's, the end all be all, that the gear is, but I think the kids really embrace it. They like it. It's something a little bit fresh. And it's, we're trying to create a new era of Louisville football, and sometimes a little bit of change is good while still embracing, the history and the great tradition that Louisville football is.
Fantastic. I know you're excited. I know the team's excited. I know the community in town is excited. It's football season. It's back, and it's going to be at New Philadelphia Friday night. Now, talk a little bit about New Philly as we've had. This will be the third year?
Yep, third year.
Third year. And we'll be looking forward to getting that first win against New Philadelphia.
That's right. We haven't gotten them yet. Some close games.
Yes, fantastic. Coach, I appreciate you being here. We thank you all for joining us on Coach Kappas' Coach's Corner and through YSN Live. We thank you for joining us, and go Leopards.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.